Days of Our Lives episode promises not just tears but also the kind of drama, love, and tangled relationships that have kept fans glued to their screens for decades. Let's dive into the emotional whirlwind awaiting us. A family's fury. Jennifer and Jack confront Chad's choice. Jennifer Horton and Jack Devereaux, two of Salem's most enduring figures, step off the plane with heavy hearts, returning to honor John Black at his funeral. The couple, whose love story has weathered betrayals, kidnappings, and even presumed deaths, is no stranger to grief. But as they brace themselves to say goodbye to a dear friend, a bombshell drops that shakes them to their core. Their son-in-law, Chad DiMera, is rekindling a romance with Kat Green, the woman who once masqueraded as Chad's late wife, Abigail, and, in a shocking twist, murdered him. For Jennifer, a mother who has already buried her daughter Abigail, this news is a dagger to the heart. Her soft-spoken demeanor hides a fierce protectiveness over her grandchildren, Abigail's children. The thought of Kat, a woman who deceived and destroyed, being anywhere near them is unthinkable. How could Chad even consider this? Jennifer whispers to Jack, her voice trembling with a mix of disbelief and rage. Jack, ever the journalist, digs for answers, but what he finds only deepens their resolve. Kat's past is a web of lies, and her presence in Chad's life feels like a betrayal of Abigail's memory. The confrontation at the DiMera mansion is nothing short of explosive. Chad, torn between his lingering feelings for Kat and his loyalty to his late wife, tries to explain. "She's changed, Jennifer. She's not the same person," he pleads, his eyes searching for understanding. But Jennifer's not having it. "Changed," she snaps, her voice rising. "She wore my daughter's face, Chad. She took everything from us." Jack steps in, his calm exterior masking a storm of emotion, urging Chad to think of the children. The scene is a masterclass in raw, familial tension, leaving viewers wondering, can Chad's heart lead him astray, or is there more to Kat's redemption story than meets the eye? Marlena's mask of strength crumbles across town, Dr. Marlena Evans, Salem's rock of compassion, is grappling with her own sorrow. John Black was more than a friend, he was her soulmate, her partner through decades of love and loss. As she prepares for his funeral, Marlena dons her therapist's mask, offering comfort to others while burying her own pain. Her stepdaughter, Carrie Brady, watches with concern, knowing Marlena's tendency to prioritize everyone else. "You don't have to be strong for us," Carrie says softly, her hand resting on Marlena's. "Let me be here for you." The moment is tender, a reminder of the bonds that hold Salem together. But Marlena, ever stoic, brushes off the offer with a weak smile. "I'm fine, Carrie. I have to be." Yet, as the camera lingers on her face, the cracks in her facade are evident. Will Marlena allow herself to grieve, or will she carry this burden alone? For viewers who've followed Marlena's journey, this storyline resonates deeply, reflecting the universal struggle to balance strength and vulnerability in the face of loss. Adding to the emotional weight, Anna DiMera returns to Salem, her elegance undimmed by time. Anna's reunion with her daughter Carrie is a tearjerker, filled with hugs and whispered memories of happier days. She then seeks out Marlena, offering condolences that carry the weight of their shared history. "John was one of a kind," Anna says, her voice thick with emotion. "And so are you." The exchange is a poignant reminder that even in grief, connection can be a lifeline. Hospital halls buzz with drama at University Hospital, the heart of Salem's medical world. The drama is as relentless as ever. Kayla Johnson, the hospital's chief of staff, is battling budget woes that threaten to dim the lights. But even as she juggles finances, the hospital rooms pulse with life, love, and conflict. In one corner, Sophia Choi and Amy Lynn clash with Kate Roberts, their sharp words echoing down the sterile halls. The tension escalates when Tate Black arrives, bringing news about Sophia's baby. Is it good news or another complication in Sophia's already tumultuous journey? The anticipation builds, leaving fans on edge. Nearby, Kate sits vigil by her son Philip Kyriakis' bedside. Philip, battered and bruised from a brutal attack by Xander Kyriakis, lies unconscious, his fate uncertain. Kate, a woman who once faked her own death to protect Philip, is no stranger to sacrifice. But now, as she clutches his hand and begs him to wake, the fear is real. "You're a fighter, Philip," she whispers, her voice breaking. "Don't you dare leave me." The scene is a stark contrast to Kate's usual steely resolve, revealing a mother's raw desperation. For viewers who remember Kate's scheming days, this vulnerability is a powerful reminder of her depth. Stephanie's dreams and Alex's ambition. Meanwhile, Alex Kyriakis is stirring up trouble of a different kind. Determined to see his girlfriend Stephanie Johnson's novel published, he takes matters into his own hands, sending her manuscript to publishers without her consent. Stephanie, a writer with a cautious heart, is horrified. Her book, filled with intimate fantasies, was never meant for public eyes, least of all her friends and family. "You had no right," she cries, her face flushed with embarrassment. Alex, ever confident, shrugs it off. "I'm making you a star, Steph. You'll thank me later." But as the manuscript circulates, Stephanie braces for the fallout. Her private thoughts, once confined to pages, are now fodder for gossip. Will her relationship survive the scrutiny, or has Alex's ambition pushed her into a spotlight she never wanted? This storyline captures the tension between love and autonomy, a theme that resonates with anyone who's felt their dreams hijacked by someone else's vision. A tour of hope and uncertainty. Finally, Sophia, Tate, and Amy embark on a hospital tour to prepare for Sophia's impending delivery. The scenes are lighthearted at first, with Tate cracking jokes to ease Sophia's nerves. But as they wander through the maternity ward, Sophia's anxiety creeps in. "Do I really need to know about all these rooms?" she asks, her voice tinged with unease. The tour, meant to reassure, instead amplifies her fears about the unknown. For older viewers, this moment may evoke memories of their own journeys into parenthood, a mix of excitement and trepidation that never fully fades. Salem's heart beats on as the episode draws to a close. Salem is a tapestry of emotions: grief for John, anger over Chad's choices, and hope for new beginnings. The return of Jennifer, Jack, and Anna weaves threads of nostalgia into the narrative, while the younger generation, Sophia, Tate, and Amy, carries the story forward. At its core, Days of Our Lives remains a celebration of resilience, showing that even in the darkest moments, love and family endure. For those who've followed Salem's saga for years, this episode is a poignant reminder of why the show endures. It's not just the drama or the twists. It's the way these characters mirror our own struggles and triumphs. As Jennifer fights for her grandchildren, Marlena grapples with loss, and Sophia faces the future, we see pieces of ourselves, our fears, our hopes, our unbreakable bonds. So, grab a tissue and settle in. Salem's story is far from over, and on June 6, 2025, it's as gripping as ever. On Thursday, June 5, 2025, the quaint town of Salem hums with emotion, its cobblestone streets and cozy homes steeped in the familiar rhythm of love, loss, and simmering drama. For the residents of Days of Our Lives, particularly those over 65 who've watched this community navigate heartbreak and hope for decades, today's episode is a poignant blend of nostalgia and new conflicts. As the sun sets over the Horton household and the presses hum at The Spectator, Salem's residents grapple with grief over John Black's passing, tangled relationships, and the courage to face their fears. With a clear, heartfelt tone, let's step into this emotional tapestry, crafted to resonate with an audience who cherishes the enduring spirit of Salem. A hero's legacy. At The Spectator, the offices of The Spectator, Salem's trusted newspaper, are unusually quiet today, the air heavy with the task at hand. Leo Stark, the paper's sharp-witted columnist, sits at his desk, pouring his heart into an obituary titled "John Black Dies a Hero." John, a pillar of Salem, was a man whose courage and kindness touched countless lives, and Leo is determined to honor him. His words paint a vivid picture. John's daring rescues, his unwavering love for Marlena, and the quiet strength he offered to everyone, from friends to strangers. For viewers who followed John's journey, this moment is a tearful nod to a character who felt like family. Enter Chad DiMera, his face etched with sorrow. Chad's connection to John runs deep. After the tragic loss of his wife, Abigail, John was a steady hand, guiding Chad and his children through their grief. He always knew what to say, Chad recalls, his voice soft as he shares a memory of John bringing the kids ice cream just to see them smile. Leo nods, understanding the weight of this loss. But their moment of reflection is interrupted by the editor, who storms in, red pen in hand. "This obituary is too long, Leo," she snaps. "Cut it down." Leo bristles, his passion for John's legacy clashing with the editor's pragmatism. Chad, sensing the tension, steps in. "Let me handle this," he says, promising to ensure John's story is told with the respect it deserves. For older viewers, this scene echoes the universal struggle to honor those we've lost while navigating life's practical demands, a reminder that grief is as much about memory as it is about letting go. Chad's dilemma, a date with danger. Chad's day is far from over. He's scheduled for a skydiving date with Kat Green, a charity event that's raising funds for a local cause. But as he confides in Leo, his heart isn't in it. Skydiving, plummeting thousands of feet through the air, feels like a reckless leap, both literally and emotionally. Kat, the woman who once posed as Abigail and whose past is shadowed by deception, stirs conflicting feelings in Chad. "I'm not ready to move on from Abigail," he admits, his voice raw. "And I'm not sure about Kat." Leo, ever the blunt advisor, doesn't mince words. "Cancel it, Chad. If she's still hung up on you, stringing her along isn't fair. Plus, not jumping out of a plane is a win for both of you." He pauses, smirking. "You don't want to tempt fate with a parachute, do you?" Chad glares, but Leo's words hit home. The idea of cutting ties with Kat feels right, yet something, guilt, curiosity, or perhaps a flicker of hope, keeps him tethered to the plan. This internal tug-of-war is relatable to anyone who's stood at a crossroads, torn between the past and an uncertain future. A date that defies gravity. Later, in Horton Town Square, Chad meets Kat, his nerves jangling like loose change. The square, with its charming benches and blooming flower beds, is a stark contrast to the adrenaline-fueled adventure awaiting them. Kat, vibrant and unapologetic, senses his hesitation. "We don't have to jump if you're not up for it," she says, her eyes searching his. But there's a spark in her voice as she describes skydiving's thrill. "It makes you feel alive, Chad. After everything, the accident, the lies. It's the first time I felt like me again." Her words stir something in Chad. He's terrified, his palms sweaty at the thought of free falling. But her passion is infectious. "It'll probably be a great experience," he says, forcing a smile. "As long as the parachute opens." Kat's deadpan reply, "Yeah, let's hope," draws a nervous laugh, and she tugs him toward their adventure. As they walk, Kat reaches for his arm, her touch warm and familiar. But Chad, his back to her, wears a strange expression, part fear, part doubt, and part longing. Is he ready to take this leap, in the sky or with Kat? The camera lingers, leaving viewers to ponder the weight of his unspoken thoughts. Jennifer's shock and fury. Meanwhile, at the Horton household, a different storm is brewing. Jennifer Horton, still reeling from John's death, is tidying up when her cousin Julie Williams mentions a tidbit that stops her cold. "Oh, by the way," Julie says casually, adjusting her scarf. "Chad's going skydiving with Kat Green today." Jennifer's head snaps up. "What did you just say?" Her voice is a mix of disbelief and fury, her hands trembling as she sets down a vase. Julie, realizing her misstep, tries to backtrack, but the damage is done. As she hurries out to pick up Marlena's dry cleaning, Jennifer's mind races. Kat Green, the woman who impersonated Abigail, who wove a web of lies that shattered their family, has no business near Chad or her grandchildren. When Jack Devereaux walks through the door, he finds his wife pacing, her face flushed. "You won't believe what Julie just told me," Jennifer exclaims, her words tumbling out. "Chad's out there with her, Jack. Skydiving, of all things. How could he do this?" Jack, ever the calm counterpoint to Jennifer's fire, listens intently, but his jaw tightens. He knows Kat's history, the pain she caused, and the fragile trust Chad's been rebuilding. "We'll talk to him," Jack says, his voice steady but firm. "But let's hear him out first." Jennifer nods, but her eyes blaze with a mother's protectiveness. For viewers who followed the Horton saga, this moment is a gut punch, evoking memories of their own fierce love for family and the instinct to shield loved ones from harm. A tapestry of emotion as the episode draws to a close. Salem is a kaleidoscope of feelings: grief for John, uncertainty for Chad, and righteous anger for Jennifer. At The Spectator, Leo's obituary becomes a battleground for memory and truth, while in the square, Chad's date with Kat teeters between exhilaration and unease. Across town, Jennifer and Jack brace for a confrontation that could reshape their family's future. Each storyline weaves into the next, creating a narrative that's as rich and complex as life itself.